Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. This was a special trip for Alani. In lieu of a birthday party with friends, we ended up taking her to DC. This girl loves all things gems, rocks, minerals. So when I told her there was a museum in DC with all of those things, she was super excited to get there. So this is what she chose. And on the way, we made sure to stop and get some food. It's not a long drive for us. I would say about 3 hours. But since it was lunchtime, it was good to stop, stretch our legs, get some food. That way, when we got to the hotel, we could drop off our luggage and get right to the museum. Since we were at the hotel early, we couldn't check in, so it was really nice to be able to just drop off our luggage, use the restroom, and get on out. This giant specimen of Arkansas quartz was one of the first things we saw when we entered, so it was the perfect way to kick off our time in this museum because Alani was even more excited after this. I have been to the National Museum of Natural History many times, so it was so much fun seeing it through Alani's eyes. She really had the most fun in the geology, gems, and minerals section. That was basically what we came here for. Even though they have many exhibits, we knew she'd love this one. It was a really great time, and her favorite part was being able to finish it off at the gift shop. Some of the other exhibits we visited while we were there were Lights Out and Barrow, Colorado Island, which were temporary exhibits. Alani really liked Bone Hall, and they had an app where with certain ones you could hold it up to the bones and see what the actual animal looks like. She also really liked the insect zoo. I was super disappointed though because when we got to the butterfly pavilion, they were closed. I wasn't able to get tickets ahead because you could only purchase them in person. And for some reason, while we were there, it was closed. I was really hoping to be able to tie that into the butterfly unit study that we were doing, but unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But there were still lots of fun things to see. The last exhibit that we went to before heading out for food was the Hall of Fossils, which was really interesting and super interactive as well. After our time in the museum, we headed to the Hard Rock Cafe. Alani absolutely loves onion rings, so that was her special thing. And then we headed back to the hotel for check-in. I have to be completely honest, we were so thrown off by their elevator system. Once you read it, it's fine, but we had just hopped into the elevator with another person when the doors had opened, and once we got inside and realized there were no buttons, we were super confused. But again, we figured it out. We had stayed at the JW Marriott in Washington, D.C., so it was super convenient to everything. That night, we decided to walk to the Washington Monument, and then when we headed back to the hotel, Alani got to have ice cream in bed as her birthday treat. This was a one-night only trip, so When we woke up the next morning, we dropped off our luggage and checked out. Since we were able to keep our luggage and our car there, we decided that was the best way to go about things for us to head out for breakfast. And then from there, we also headed out to another museum. I had planned for us to go to the National Air and Space Museum the second day we were there, but that was poor planning on my part. I should have switched the days. They did not have the Air and Space Museum on that second day, and had I looked through the time tickets, I would have realized that and just switched the days. But that was my mistake, so we ended up going to the National Museum of American History instead. I definitely do not feel that this was something that was filled with things that were of interest to her. But in a bind, it's just where we ended up. And again, we're not very far from DC. So my thought is we'll hit tons of other places many other times as we visit. The reason that I ended up going with the American History Museum is because of COLLAB. They have an area for kids from the ages 6 to 12 that is all about STEM. So they can create different things and experiment on different things. It's an interesting area for the older kids, and then right next door is an area that's better for toddler and younger children. Alani loves all things shiny, so I think this value of money area was her absolute favorite. She had so much fun in here. But we wrapped up basically here, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog as well. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for your support on my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.